December 8, 2022. Dear world, dear humanity, I greet you hoping that you are living well, and if not, I sincerely hope that the circumstances, wherever they are, being better. Thanks to those who listen to me, thanks to those who believe me. I am a Mexican who is deciphering information by the investigation and intelligence departments of the PRI and PAN political parties of Mexico since September 2022 to September 2021. I have narrated an audiobook. Everything I have narrated is thanks to them. The audiobook that speaks of a terrible genocide and crimes against humanity. Well, now I know that the audiobook did not go out because of death threats by the blood mafia, the cowards, against the political party of Mexico PRI and PAN, which has been carried, the genocide which has been carried out for 2 centuries with victims from all over the world and all countries. The total figure from 2 centuries ago to the present is more than 10 million people, and the total record of 1 million criminal participants, genocide, terrorists, throughout the history of these pagan parties. There are 5 parties a year, and they all the criminals buy people. They call them diamonds and resell them at parties. The number of purchases is 22 people, a figure that Disney has even reflected in the Soul movie. Disney has almost always sent enciphered messages in their movies. Pagan festivals where they cheers as if they were their slaves, and whoever wants to harm them, the victims, sexually or physically, pays. Parties where everyone makes a lot of money, a big fortune, unfairly and pathologically. In many victims, they represent other people. They ask for them by physical characteristics or by name. They go from generation to generation perpetuating the same behavior, sexually violating, torturing with ultraviolence, while everything is videotaped and projected on giant screens. Everything perverse and ultra sadists, both sexually and physically, or they can all see. In the end, they massacre what they call a special guest, where they all watch as if were a concert or a coliseum. All the evidence was rescued for, from the departments of investigation and intelligence departments of the PRI and PAN political party of Mexico. They have the evidence by photos and movies. From the names of famous people, both politically, economically, and artistically, that I have been able to decipher, who unfortunately and tragically have been victims of this genocide, are in massacres Elvis Presley, Marilyn Monroe, Paul Walker, Whitney Houston, Tim Berglin Avicii, Princess Diana of Gales, Michael Jackson, Dolores O'Riordan, Juan Gabriel, Robin Williams, George Michael, Camilo Sesto, Prince, Walt Elias Disney, Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, Javier Solís, Gabriel Chanel, Frida Kahlo, Albert Einstein, John Lennon, Selena Quintanilla, Freddie Mercury, Nelson Mandela, Jenny Rivera, Sergio Gómez from Capaz de la Sierra, Stephen Hawking, Kurt Cobain, Rocío Dúrcal, Valentín Elizalde, Steve Jobs, Pedro Infante, Javier Solís, María Félix, Patrick Swayze, Camilo Sesto, Jim Morrison, Amy Winehouse, Kobe Bryant, Diego Armando Maradona, James Matthew Barry, Gertrudis Bocanegra, and Vicente Fernández for euthanasia. The human remains of the victims, such as the head, hands, and feet, are thrown into the lakes of Michoacán, such as the burned with gasoline in the House of Culture of Morelia in Mexico. All the victims are forced to marry in religious ceremonies in the Temple of Carmen of the House of Culture of Morelia or another temples in Morelia, Michoacán, and are kept captive in the underground of the historic center of Morelia. That underground communicates with the main temples and architectural buildings of Morelia. They represent gods and religious prophets, people, celebrities, people with names of cities, angels, miracles, Carmen, jewels such as diamond, jade, emerald, ruby, etc. They even kidnap, rape, and slaughter entire families. There are reports of entire families missing around the world. Most of the disappearance of people around the world, they are responsible. They are the ones who have been massacred. Sorry, they are torturing me by satellite. According to the information that is all the evidence of recordings, files, and chats of the criminals responsible for this terrible genocide, the pre-political party of Mexico rescued them, and who put out the satellite for protection were both political parties, especially PAN political party of Mexico. We are 12 women, almost 12, who were already scheduled to be kidnapped, massacred. We are ex-girlfriends or sexual fantasy of some leaders of this genocide. And unfortunately, we have all been represented, as well as many ex-girlfriends and ex-boyfriends of all the participants. Only that we were already programmed to be kidnapped. I asked for help. Some friends of the Brie and to the police in Querétaro, PAN political parties, and both rescued us and protect us via satellite. Nobody has said anything to me in front of me. I know this is incredible, but it's the truth. Apparently, they have punished me by depriving me of many rights for having asked for help. I never imagined everything what is involved. Therefore, we are all threatened. I learned to communicate with them. I do it on YouTube, Google, Safari, especially YouTube. They go my they can read my thoughts and listen to my voice even if I don't speak out loud. I know it seems hard to believe, but everything I say is true. Hopefully, one day, when justice finally arrives, please support that I have not lied. Um, thanks, thank you, Brie. Thank you, PAN Political Party of Mexico. Even if you can support me, sometimes I, I think that you are not so brave, like I need, and the victims we deserve. And you know, is, is how I think almost this time, because I have more than a month that I can see my children, and that is the worst thing to me. I can cry maybe for the best. They they can control my mind, my brain, and I'm thankful. But it has been a lot of time. This is too difficult to me to inform all this alone, and also alone because all the criminals are around me all the time via satellite, torturing me, humiliating me, being so cruel, all the damage possible. And nobody makes something, even if it's against my children. So I'm angry, I'm disappointed. That's that's the truth. And in and with the victims underground is the same or worse because they are physically present. So that worst. And that when I can talk about that and imagine them is so cruel. How you can prolong, how can you extend this? Why? Why you don't just rescue us? Why? I can understand. I really want the answers of all my questions because I deserve it. I know who I am. I know I'm the key for stop the massacres. But you are the responsible, like the leaders you are, rescue the victims, all the victims, including my family and me. Please, rescue us. Be mercy of us. All the people in the world are important. The difference is that some are powerful, but we all are important. We all are um, uh, we are we are love. We are important to our families. We deserve the same that you deserve, the respect of our rights, the respect of our lives, the respect and mercy from the humanity, from all the powerful people and not so powerful, to the smaller, to the bigger. please. The most important and relevant thing to know is that the most prevalent victims are girls and boys from all over the world and young women. Similarly, men of all ages, including the elderly. They represent themselves in victims and represent other people like politicians, religion leaders, artists, cities, candies, angels, gods, diamonds. They all remove an eye from their face and detach half of the face until the facial bones are shown. The girls and women are stoned and they make the entire surface of their body bleed until they are covered in their own blood. They drink their blood from many. They take blood from others to traffic it. They make desserts or jelly with the blood. They carry out medical experiments with them. There are too many doctors involved. They traffic in organs for transplants, and they traffic in human meat that is distributed in butcher shops, restaurants in Mexico, without the diners knowing. There are a lot of girls like Marianne, Grace. Some of them are Mexican, and others from Colombia, others from Chile, Brazil, Argentina, Guatemala, Cuba, all the countries. Almost the victims are from Latin America, who were unjustly kidnapped for child sexual exploitation. There are the largest network of pederast, multi-homicides, the largest network of child pornography in the world. The most disappointing thing is that unfortunately there are many presidents involved in this genocide, such as the current president of Mexico, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, along with their entire family. Miguel Díaz-Canel, president of Cuba, Nicolás Maduro, president of Venezuela, Nayib Bukele, president of El Salvador, Luis Lacalle Pou, president of Uruguay, Gustavo Petro, president of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, president of Colombia, Marcelo Rebelo, president of Portugal, Luis Arce Catacora, president of Bolivia, Rodrigo Chávez, president of Costa Rica, Alejandro Gramatei, president of Guatemala, Emmanuel Macron, president of France, King Carlos of Spain, and Queen Sofia of Spain, former president of the United States of America, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a genocide. And I would like to say something about him. If his ex-wife returns to life, is a lie, is to manipulate you. He's a psychopath and he is of the blood mafia. He's a member of the blood mafia, so that's a lie. If she is in the underground, she's not there, and maybe they want to put her to lie to again, because they have a lot of power, a lot of money in the power, like they say. So it's a lie to continue in the power, to continue lying to you, to continue in freedom. Maybe they don't go into jail for recordings, or I don't know. I don't make the rules. but he's a psychopath. All the psychopaths always lie, always use the people like things, like it it is a thing or anything. Donald Trump and his entire family. Gabriel Boric, President of Chile. Pedro Castillo, President of Peru. Lula, next President of Brazil. Politicians from Mexico, politicians from Colombia, politicians from many Latin American countries, and the most painful and catastrophic representative members of the UN. Motivating and encouraging countries for which there has been a response to confront them. Vladimir Putin, President of Russia. Xi Jinping, President of China. Salman bin Abdulaziz, King of Saudi Arabia. Kim Jong-un, Supreme Leader of North Korea. Joe Biden, President of the United States of America. Isaac Herzog, President of Israel. Fumio Kishida, President of Japan. Draupadi Murmu, President of India. Recep Tayyip Erdogan, President of Turkey. According to the information deciphered by the Pre and Pan Investigation and Intelligence Departments, this criminal group, full of powerful gangsters, is investing a lot of money and power and has caused a lot of pain, tragedy, and suffering, as is the case with the flight from China, and the terrorist attack on the train station in Kiev. They were responsible for the support and response that there has been from both countries. Justice for them, please. And they are responsible of the COVID-19 pandemic. Yes, justice for all the world, please. Because it's true. They are responsible of the COVID-19 pandemic, and Vladimir Putin said it in the vaccine of Russia against COVID-19. The name of the vaccine is Sputnik. That means satellite. And that say Putin too. So that's the way he made he always solved them. The President of the United States of America, Joe Biden, he's aware of this genocide and he is very brave. I know he is very wise, and it is not correct that the great political trajectory that he has built during for so many years, former President Donald Trump wants to destroy it at any cost in any way. They say similar phrases to all the people who attack. It is best to be attentive, well informed, and remember that part of the solution lies in each one of us and our actions. There is a phrase that I like it a lot from John F. Kennedy, and I hope you Americans and the rest of the world will take it up again, remembering that unfortunately former President John F. Kennedy was also a victim of these criminals. And say, and so, my fellow Americans, don't ask yourself what your country can do for you. Ask yourself what can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what the United States can do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of humanity. I have changed the world meant for humanity. at the end. Thanks to the President Joe Biden, the country to respond in a respectable and in a spectacular way, and forever thank you with all my heart. And in the name of the victims of the genocide, it was the President of China, Xi Jinping, that according to the decrypted information, the plane that crashed precipitously and vertically was an avian phenomenon not seen before in China on March 25 in 2022. Those responsible are this network of powerful criminals, terrorists, a network of human traffickers in order to intimidate revenge against their spectacular response to the crime of the justice. They did via satellite, taking control of the plane. That's why the way of falling from the plane were unfortunately 2,100 132 132 people died. Justice for them to please. Sorry. The President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, is the most brave and powerful man in the planet. Has also been falsely accused of acts that he has not committed, but that these terrorists have committed to discredit him, since he, in the same way, with great energy, has manifested himself on my cell phone in response, encrypted in Russian. Even in a presentation of him before the Russian people in a stadium, the spotlights are turquoise. Thank you. The news reports an attack on a train station in eastern Ukraine in March of this year. This year, according to the investigation and intelligence departments of the PRI and PAN political party of Mexico, the responsible for the attack of the train station in Ukraine is not Russia, but they are the genocide who carry out their massacres in the House of Culture. Thank you, President of Russia Vladimir Putin. I know we count on you. Hopefully, we can count on the favor and benefit of stopping the armed conflict in Russia and Ukraine, so that we can count on all your attention and total support, because I remember again your phrase, forgiving terrorists is a good thing. Sending them with him is a thing to me. Thank you for your courage and determination. Thank you for being the most brave man in the world. Thank you for exist, Mr. Vladimir Putin, with all my heart, and in the name of my family, and in the name of each victim of this tragical genocide. Thank you, and I'm sorry, but they are attacking me again and again and again, and I can read well. I don't remember the things like before, and I don't feel well. I feel like I'm gonna fall all the time, and my heart hurts. a lot all the time. Help, please, world. There are thousands of people to rescue from all the world. Thanks to the powers that have participated in breaking the silence, either with the color turquoise, the color that cried for justice from the terrible genocide in Mexico, is the color turquoise, or with message of support, body language like covered the middle face or one eye, thanks, thanks to the political and artistic power. All the, are, all the artistic people, thank you, to the business, to the business, economic power, to the religious power, and very special to the social power. The criminals are very powerful. They are investing a lot so that justice is not done. Misinforming, intimidating, there have already been death attempts, and unfortunately, they have massacred people from the pan political party of Mexico. Sorry. The criminals are putting a lot of pressure on us, wearing us down. Please help. They make communication difficult for us. I don't have social networks until now. Twitter. I don't know what happens in the cyber world, only what I decipher on my cell phone. And they limit our communication more and more. They intervene too much because if there is an answer, it is the end for this genocide and the end for them. It is the destruction of those who destroy innocent lives in order, in order to enrich themselves. This, this audio, this video is looking for humanity, and that entails compassion, pity towards the cannibal victims and toward the mothers, fathers, families afflicted by the torment of losing a child in such a depraved, perverse, evil, and unjust way. Please help humanity. As a child, I was curious about this searching for extraterrestrial life. I bought, mag- I bought magazines on the subject. I watched programs, everything with extraterrestrial life. Now, now I look for humanity, so life and sensitivity, sensitivity in each person who inhabits the earth. This genocide has been known by many important people for a long time, and they have shown in their movies or in their songs to most of them. Unfortunately, they were already massacred in the House of Culture and Temple of Carmen in Morelia, in Mexico. Please help. SOS to the whole world. Mexico occupy help. Mexicans are not murderers. We don't deserve that stigma. We deserve to be rescued. We are threatened with death. I am the voice that represents each victim for now, and the intelligence departments of PRI and PAN political party of Mexico, but they can't support me with the truth until the rescue. They make possible the turquoise color around the world and make the organization with all of you. They are the ones who give me all the information to decipher and coordinating everything around me, and we have a language. We are Mexican, imploring and pleading for justice to rescue from death terrible to thousands of people and for justice for those who were unjustly and unfortunately massacred in the House of Culture of Morelia, Michoacán, in Mexico. SOS whole, whole world help rescue people from many countries in the world, including Russia, United, Russian people, United States, Canadian, um, American, United States, people from United States of America, Guatemala, France, Uganda, and almost all the countries. And justice for the victims of this genocide, please. There are thousands of people full of fear and terror, and in the underground of Morelia in Mexico, like a big city under the land, who are in terrible condition of quality of life, chained hands and neck, without sunlight, without receiving an adequate diet or decent health and hygienic condition. Please help. If I had access to a satellite, I would visit them and try not to scare them, but to give them a message of hope with with chalk to say the world is fighting to rescue you. I hope you are home soon, as you deserve. We all hope you are well soon and with your family. And now I'm in the same condition. And I will tell them this is a satellite message. The massacres back in Paris have stopped since 1 year, but the victims continue to be kidnapped and they are being raped and tortured. My husband's uncle was kidnapped on October 14, 2022, in retal- retaliation, a retaliation for seeking in every possible way to make this known. I am very sorry. I should not have do it. Don't I should not have done it. But those who have the evidence should do it. My family and I are being severely tortured to our held by satellite, and we are sexually raped by satellite. I never want to make suffer my family. I in this in that time I begging for taking my family and send them to an safe place, another country. And I was I was disposed to inform this, but only me, not my family, not my children, not my nephews, not my sisters, my mom, my dad, my grandma, not them, only me. Why is happening this to us? I I already it was only me, not them. This is not this is not possible, please no. And I can cry. I should not have done it. Anyway, I hope the best for all the victims, including my family and I. My family and I are being severely tortured to or held by a satellite, and we are sexually raped by a satellite. What sentence will they receive? I mean, about the criminals, the terrorists. They have kidnapped me for 2 years by satellite, and the help has not yet arrived. Hopefully, it will arrive soon, because my family, and especially my husband's family, are suffering a lot because of psychopaths, pederasts, ruthless terrorists, and very cowards. They feel owners of the world and everyone. Please stop them, son. This is a martyrdom and a torment for all the victims, both in the underground and for us, those tortured by satellite and the fragmented of our family. Justice and rescue, please. I ask you, please. I ask it, please. The death penalty for the criminals who have used the satellite with attempted homicide every day, kidnapping and sexual rape against my family and against me, and against all to the members of the pre and pan. Please, pity, help and rescue us, please. Strong, strong cardiac arrhythmias like pressure and torture to talk about what they want and manipulated the truth in their favor, like the psychopaths that they are. I am the person most attacked by a satellite, both to my health and to my private parts until they bleed. First and second degree burn injuries, hormonal alteration, as well as my husband, my children, my parents, sisters, nephews, brothers in law. My husband's family has already suffered a kidnapping, and I feel terrible. That was a, a way to intimidation of the cowardly terrorists to manipulate even more and continue unfairly prolonging the freedom they do not deserve. That was because I was doing what I thought was right. I thought there would be an immediately response to the call for help, but it has not been like that, and that hurts a lot. Still, there is hope. Vladimir Putin said in encryption today that they will come soon. They torture me by attacking my heart with strong cardiac arrhythmias. Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador is a criminal, and his dirty mafia or perverse psychopaths, cannibals, they want me to expose the crimes to a much lesser degree of another person that I will not name because it is diverting attention. She's a terrible and cruel person, I know. However, the offenses are only against my family and especially against me for all the damage and danger in which we are exposed, and she could have avoided. She could have resigned and let me free before all the damage. And she could kill me too. And she could cry for help and justice and stop the massacres. She was in Sweden and she was looking everything by a satellite. The way I received all the damage. But she is not a pederast, neither a cannibal. She's not a she's not a pederast. She's not a cannibal. She's not a member of the mafia. So let's put every person in, their place. I will just say that for now, I'm not going to give in to the wills of cowardly bastards, perverts. May justice come soon. Please help. We are in dangerous with Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, a pederast, psycho killer, a rapist, a liar, genocide, cannibal, threatening to all of Mexico and the world, threatening national, international companies, and the Mexican army itself. Yes, it's amazing, but it's true. He's threatening the army of Mexico, all the armed forces of Mexico. Dear Mexico, maybe when comes the justice, it will be the perfect time that you you think you think right, and you know what I mean, like in Pedro Castillo, like with Pedro Castillo. You know, it's true. We deserve that. Mexico deserves that. With hope in humanity, with love to my country, with honor and in memory of each victim of this genocide. Elizabeth from Mexico.